G'day viewers, it's the end of the week. You've made it. I've made it. We have made it together to the end of a week to share these totally fucked up stories for Totally Fucked Up Friday. And as per usual, in this fucked up world we live in, spoiled for choice. There were so many things I could have talked about, that I could have ranted about, because fucked up shit just keeps happening. But I've narrowed it down to a few. I'm going to start with something that really is comparatively light-hearted, because shit's going to get pretty heavy as I go along. So let's start light. I did get a bit of a laugh this week about the number of medical authorities who felt compelled to say, don't stick coffee up your arse. This was largely because Gwyneth Paltrow's website, glunge.com or whatever the fuck it's called, in its latest woo-woo bullshit fucking health tip, they're selling an at-home coffee enema kit. I mean, who even needs to do it enema-wise? With those fucking coffee pods they sell now, you just jam them straight up there, surely. I mean, poke a couple holes in it so it goes out, and don't pay for an expensive enema kit, just shove the coffee pod right up there. Because unlike medical authorities who have said that people who read Gwyneth Paltrow's site and take it to heart could be damaging their health, potentially quite seriously, if they take this advice for a coffee enema, I am of the school that says if you are such a fucking moron that you go for this latest pop culture bullshit that has no basis in medicine, fucking do it. Do a fucking coffee enema. Do a bleach enema. Oh, do the fucking... What are those little pod thingies from the dishwashers called? That there's this... It started off as a stupid meme joke about eating them because they looked like lollies, and now some people have done videos of eating them, and it's created this moral panic about, kids, don't eat the detergent pods. Fucking do it, kids, okay? Because you will get sick, and the more stupid ones of you who swallow it will fucking die, and honestly, the world's better off without you, okay? If it ever occurred to you to do this, to eat these fucking detergent pods, or to do a coffee enema, the world will be better off if you die. So fucking do it with bleach, as far as I'm concerned, okay? Or grow a fucking brain and don't do stupid shit. It's like that saying, I'm not saying kill all the stupid people, but if we tore the warning labels off everything, shit would sort itself out right quick, I reckon. But, my God, that's about as light as it gets. Although, the next thing I do find really funny, the continuing fallout from that book, The Fire and the Fury. This guy Michael Wolf did when he was given ridiculous amounts of access to the Trump White House. As I said when I talked about this before, why the fuck would you give access to a guy who's been shown historically to have no morals, no professional standards, and no qualms about talking shit about people? But he did it, and then it turns out that, yeah, good old bloody Steve Bannon was saying, yeah, print this. I fucking hate those guys. I hate Don Jr. I hate Jared. I fucking hate everyone except Donald. I love Donald. So fucking shit on everyone. So the book came out shitting on everyone, and then Trump decided to shit on Bannon, and then the hilarious thing was Bannon even being dumped from Breitbart. Like, the whole thing was, he's left the White House, now he's going to be on Breitbart.com with no limits, go next door. But you need money to run a website. And the money people who are financing Breitbart decided they were staying with Trump and the establishment. So they made it real fucking clear that they weren't tolerating Bannon being around, because Donny Boy had declared Bannon persona non grata, and so therefore, if Bannon was about, money go bye-byes, so Breitbart immediately goes, Bannon goes bye-byes, because we want money. This is a hilarious thing. I had a few people ask me, oh, why did they fall out? Was it an ideological schism? No, it was money. It's always money. That's what's driving everything. Oh, Breitbart, despite the evil politics, and like InfoWars, despite their insane shit, they're not driven by ideology. It's about money. When you see all the ads around Alex Jones's unhinged rants, you get it's not really what he's saying. He's trying to sell shit. Very much like it's weird how often people have noted Alex Jones sells the same bullshit supplements as Gwyneth Paltrow sells. It's like they both get people to suspend brain function. It's not that conservatives are by definition stupid. It's not that extreme hippy-dippy tree-hugging lefties are by definition stupid. But it appears easy to get people who are prone to extreme views to suspend rational thoughts. Like the old Oprah 2020. Like, people started saying after, ooh, Oprah made a nice speech, she should run against Trump. Like, look, I get why people were endeared by that, because compared to Trump, she's intelligent, she is literally self-made, as opposed to a horrible child of inheritance of riches made by a hideous Klansman daddy who was racist his whole life and instilled this racist shit into his son, and his son then lost this money multiple times over and still only has money because of his fucking criminal connections. But, you know, Oprah is actually self-made. She's compassionate. She's intelligent. These are all things that Trump categorically is not. Then some people have gone, but look, Oprah always spouts this pseudoscience bullshit. She's all about money. Yes, she is literally all about money. In fact, there was weird let's vote for Oprah, then this really quick backlash. That's a terrible idea. Look, the only thing that I dislike about the idea of run Oprah against Trump, because she would beat him. She would beat him like a rented mule. But the only thing I dislike about it is it would be like entrenching this idea, from now on, the president's gonna be a celebrity. Not someone who went into public service, not someone who, went through the whole process of being in local politics and state politics and federal politics to be a community organizer, be in the state Congress or Senate and build up to that point and understand public service and lawmaking. No, if Oprah got elected, that would feel like it was entrenching the idea, from now on, they're all gonna be celebrities. Which is fucked. But then again, most days I feel like we're fucked anyway. So, one way or the other. And the other funny thing that's come out of this book, and Bannon going down in a screaming heap because he was the source of all this shit in the book, is Trump keeps saying stuff about, I'm going to change the libel laws. You shouldn't be able to tell lies and make lots of money, because this book is making a shit ton of money. And Trump, I think, is genuinely upset. But all the things he's spouting about, we'll change the libel laws so you can't tell lies and make money. There's a couple of things that will make this fall down. First and foremost, I don't reckon the book's lies. I reckon it's fucking true. I reckon that's what the people said about each other. I think that's the way they were behaving. I think that shit's all basically true. And you really can't fucking sue someone under any libel laws in the US if what they say is true. You can't even sue them successfully if what they said was incorrect, but they believed it to be correct. You actually have to prove malice. So that's... it's going to fall out for us. And then there's that tiny little stumbling block known as the First Amendment to the Constitution about, the government not impinging on free speech, which would not fly well with a bunch of people if Trump tried to do it. Another way it'll fall down, there are no federal libel laws in the US, which is the only sort of laws Trump could influence. Libel and slander laws are all state-based in the US, and the president can't do a goddamn fucking thing about that. And the idea of Trump trying to impose such a law for the first time is ridiculous for the reasons I've already said. But also because could you imagine the effect that would have on outlets like Fox News and Breitbart and Infowars. These people who fucking lie day in and day out. And no one, or hardly anyone, bothers to sue them because it's so hard to sue and freedom of speech and blah, 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 blah. But the idea that Trump would introduce a law that would fucking lay Fox News and Breitbart and Infowars bare, I mean, it's just not going to happen. I mean, I think he thinks that's the thing he can do because I think he's really fucking stupid. Like everyone goes, I think Trump's mentally ill. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Look, I think Trump has been cognitively impaired. I think he's had a whole bunch of fucking mini strokes. I think he's going to stroke out completely one day, probably not too far in the future. He's going to fucking drop dead. And I think he has all the intellect and reasoning ability of a fucking 6-year-old with ADD. Quite honestly, it's fucking horrific that he's president of the US. I don't really think he's mentally ill. I think he has narcissistic tendencies. I think he's just a spoiled shit. That's what it comes down to. He's not very smart. He's not very bright. I think in his advanced years, he's suffered some serious cognitive impairment, but he's just a spoiled piece of shit. He's not mentally unwell in the traditional sense of it. He's just a fucking piece of shit. And he just spouts whatever comes out of his head, like, I'm going to introduce Libel Laws. No, he's not. That isn't going to happen. Wouldn't be the worst thing he'd ever done, but it isn't going to happen. I mean, shit. And that's in the US where it's hard to do so. In Australia, it's comparatively fucking easy to sue people for slander and libel. But there's still outright fucking lies told in the media. I mean, I talked not that long ago about the blatantly racist, complete fucking lies being spouted by conservative politicians and media outlets about African youth gangs out of control. Oh, it's like, oh, we've got elections coming out. I think racism will work for us, won't it? We've got nothing else. If we just nakedly appeal to racism, that's probably our best option. Is it a problem if we have to lie? No, because racists like it when we lie because it makes them feel better about their racism. Okay, let's just fucking lie about it. And the problem I have is not saying, hey, there are some crimes being committed by young people who've come to this country and either they or their parents were from Africa, which is a big fucking different place. A lot of people who've arrived in the last decade or so from Sudan, South Sudan, Ethiopia, but we tend in the media and the politicians to talk about Africans, which is fucking ridiculous. But anyway, so I don't have a problem with saying, hey, some of these people are fucking up, not assimilating very well, and are committing crimes. Because that shit happens in every fucking ethnic group in the country. There is definitely crimes being committed, mostly by young men, not solely men, some of the young women as well, but mostly by young men from these African communities. And there is some shit that needs to be sorted out. But making up lies about African gangs, as in an official organisation with a hierarchy and structure. A group of people is not a gang in the criminal sense. The gangs we have here are like bikie gangs and they're fucking white. And, you know, they have a hierarchy and a structure. That's a gang. This is not the Crips and the Bloods. This is a group of young people who are making bad fucking decisions and need to be sorted out. They're not gangs though. And if you have bought into this, or I really need to say this, if you have bought into this at all, you're a fucking racist, okay? I refuse to fucking sugarcoat this. No, and I'm not talking about the open racists, the proud racists who go, yeah, and they fucking have their fucking Southern Cross tattoos and talk ridiculous shit. There's a video this guy put on Facebook, some fucking penis-headed dickhead who actually sounds like a New Zealander, so he's a fucking migrant, but it's, I don't know, it's okay that, because he's white, hassling a black migrant, and literally, he followed a family home, abusing them and threatening them with violence to their home, kicking on their front fucking door. And that guy was directly empowered by the fucking Prime Minister and his shit-eating, potato-headed Minister Dutton and the media who've been pushing this fucking lie. You push this lie, these unhinged fuckwits feel obligated to act on your lies. And when you made me think I'm indulging in hyperbole when I say lies. The Daily Mail read this article this week going, oh, latest gang flare-up. Police spat on. Oh, up to 20 police had to show up at this shopping mall because of this African gang flare-up. The police said, you people are full of shit. There was no problem whatsoever until your fucking photographer went up and started shoving a camera in these young African people's faces and fucking basically, what are you up to? What are you up to? And surprisingly, they got a bit antsy at this dickhead from the media deliberately trying to make them look bad. I mean, I know this isn't helpful or productive, but I wish they'd kick the living fucking shit out of this motherfucker. That person is fucking garbage. The media outlet that printed it is fucking garbage. And the fact that they didn't get the shit kicked out of them shows there's no fucking justice in this world. But the police, that notorious left-wing, bleeding heart, soft-on-crime outfit, the fucking police said to the media, can you stop this shit, okay? You are deliberately starting this shit. You are inflaming this. You are creating problems that don't exist with this blatant racist bullshit. Pull your fucking head in, you motherfuckers. And you people like Dutton have doubled down and go, no, you've appointed judges who are too soft. And it's too much bail and whatnot. Dutton, fucking Queensland drug cop. Yeah, I'm sure he's the only Queensland drug cop that's not corrupt. Queensland, the most corrupt state in Australia, and the drug squad, the most corrupt branch of every police force in the fucking world, and he was a drug cop in Queensland. But I'm sure he was the one who was not corrupt. He was the one who's not a criminal, who's now just blatantly appealing to racism for shallow political gain. And the state premier said, look, of course there are problems and we need to sort this shit out. And he's saying, like, I feel like I should invite Peter Dutton down here to see you can go out to dinner. What he said is not true. It's completely safe. People aren't scared. I'm going to offer him an invitation. I'd offer Dutton an invitation, and that's go fuck yourself, you potato-headed racist fuck. And I mean, wrap some barbed wire around your fist and jam it up your own ass, you disgusting, fucked up, racist piece of shit.